State Senator Eric Lesser is proposing legislation which would pay workers to relocate into Western Massachusetts. The proposed pilot program would reimburse workers up to $10,000 in startup costs if they relocate to one of the state's 4 Western Mass counties and work for a company outside the region. Carolee McGrath sat down with the senator to learn more.
The idea is really pretty simple. So if you live outside of Western Mass, so let's say you live in Boston or New York or Beijing, really anywhere, and you decide, you're sick of the grind, you're sick of the traffic, you're sick of the skyrocketing rent, and you decide to move to Western Massachusetts but keep your kind of big city job working remotely, well, that's great for us, and we would actually be willing to reimburse you up to $10,000 for your moving expenses and your relocation expenses. It would be up to $5,000 in year 1 and up to $5,000 in year 2 to have you move here to Western Mass and work remotely.
And so this has also taken place in Vermont. This would be a pilot program?
Exactly. So we got the idea from Vermont, our neighbors to the north. Vermont actually set up a pilot program that they've seen actually huge oversubscription for. And, Vermont has similar challenges that we have in Western Mass. It's a beautiful place. It's a great place to grow up and to raise a family. But the economy has changed in both locations. And unfortunately, their populations are now aging. And a lot of young people feel like they need to leave in order to find work. They've got to reverse that trend. So they're thinking of creative ways to attract new people and attract new families. And so this remote worker incentive they set up about a year ago and has been going very well. So it's a model for us. I read about the Vermont program and I thought, hey, maybe we should try this in Western Mass. We know it's a new idea, and new ideas sometimes take time to socialize. So we're setting this up as a limited pilot. It would be a 3-year, $1 million pilot. It's not law yet. It's got a long way to go before it would become law, but I think it's worth pointing out that even that $1 million pilot, there's been an analysis done by Nichols College that says that it could create between $70 to $100 million in secondary economic impact for our region.
In Western Massachusetts.
Exactly, and the idea is really intuitive because the old model of business incentives or incentives for creating jobs were really directed at the company. Think about, for example, the GE deal to bring GE to Boston. That ended up being about $150,000 per worker. So this program is actually much more modest than that. But also very importantly, Carolee, that program was giving the money to the company, which parks that money on Wall Street or distributes it to shareholders all over the world. This program turns the whole idea on its head. It gives the money directly to the person who's moving. So if I give you $10 and you go out and you go to a local restaurant and spend that $10, well, now the waitress has $10. And if she goes and buys an ice cream cone locally, now the ice cream cone maker has $10, and on and on and on. It multiplies the money locally. It doesn't vacuum it out, which is why you have such dramatic impacts for the economy. And you're seeing that impact actually happening in Vermont now.
What are you hearing from people who do work out in the Boston area?
Yeah.
Is this something that's attractive to them?
People are intrigued, yeah. When we first filed the bill and it's gotten some attention, we've been inundated actually with calls and emails from people who are curious about it. It's starting.
Because the housing is much better out here.
Exactly, and actually the other thing I didn't fully appreciate until we filed this bill is actually how many remote workers we already have in Western Mass. Look, remote working is a trend that's sweeping the globe. People have read about WeWork and the Wall Street valuations of WeWork and Remote Year and these other programs that are encouraging remote working. Western Mass is perfectly situated to take advantage of this trend. We're right in between two of the biggest, most dynamic economies on earth. We're right in between Boston and New York. They're easily accessible. People can, work from their home in Western Mass and get to New York once a month, twice a month, a couple times a year, whatever it may be. But it can't be done in isolation. That's the other piece. I really view this as one part of a multi-pronged strategy to attract new investment to Western Mass. It has to be done in conjunction with broadband access. There was a big announcement yesterday. The governor was in the Berkshires talking about, expanding the last mile connectivity to our towns that have been left out of broadband. We need to get that fixed, and we need to improve the rail service. And you could begin to see an ecosystem of universal high-speed broadband, good connected high-speed rail, and the remote worker program all working in sync with each other to bring in new investment and new opportunity.
Talk a little bit about the East-West Rail and where we are in that process.
Yeah, so it's moving along. We've been at this for about 5 years, and we're going to keep being at it because it's very, very important. So MassDOT is approaching the last leg of its study. They're expecting to have that study come out. We've heard hopefully by the early spring of 2020, the first quarter of 2020 is really the goal. MassDOT was out in Springfield a few weeks ago, or at this point about 2 months ago, giving us an update at a public meeting. They proposed 6 alternatives for service. Very exciting, and I think something people should take a look at, and it's on their website, is one of the options they're looking at is an 80-minute door-to-door, one-seat ride between Springfield and Boston with a new right-of-way along the Mass Turnpike up to 16 trips a day. So imagine, we're sitting here at the Springfield studio right now. Imagine if you could be in South Station, Boston in 80 minutes and vice versa 16 times a day. That would be truly transformational for Western Mass, and it would be transformational for Boston because it would help Boston's housing crunch, it would help Boston's transportation crunch, and it would also create a whole lot of jobs and opportunity here in Western Mass.
And when you think about like Fairfield County, for example, they're probably about the same distance that we are to Boston, right? About an hour and a half, and certainly they have that train service. But you think about Fairfield County maybe as something different than Western Mass. Western Mass is sort of more rural, doesn't have the same feel. Do you think that you could move Western Mass to be kind of like Fairfield County, a hub in a sense?
Well, I don't know if the goal is to make Western Mass like anywhere else. We're a unique place. We're a distinctive place. We've got a lot to offer, and I feel very confident that if we have the connectivity, if we have the investment, we're going to stand on our own 2 feet and create our own identity. And, you just think about all we have to offer. We have great quality of life. We have really great dynamic cities. We've got good public schools, and with the new education bill that is making its way through the legislature now, the schools are going to get even better. And so there's really a lot to offer. And I think we're going to create our own unique identity in our own unique place based on the rail service. I think something that's equally as possible and something I love to imagine is people commuting from Boston to Springfield rather than from Springfield to Boston. I think people assume that this train is only going to go in one direction, but it doesn't have to. And I think one of the models is Worcester, because Worcester, UMass Medical Center in Worcester has, in conjunction with the rail service, created a whole new life sciences cluster. You now have researchers, doctors who live in Boston commuting to Worcester for work, which 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people would have thought was never possible. So, we've got a lot to offer, and I think some of this is really about self-esteem as a region.
Which has always been an issue.
Right. I think Western Mass, has often been overlooked, has often been, frankly, invisible to a lot of decision makers, whether it's on Beacon Hill, in Washington, or wherever. And so I think a lot of this is really about, us coming into our moment, so to speak, and saying, look, we have a lot to offer too, and we have as much to offer Boston as Boston has to offer us.